Welcome everyone to today's webcast, Supercharging Microsoft Project with Powerful New Capabilities. My name is Ben Chamberlain. I'm UMT360's Chief Product Officer. And today we're really going to take a look at UMT360 apps that are designed to help you optimize the usage of your Microsoft PPM solution, be that Project Online or Project Server. So we're going to spend today some time in slides just introducing some of these apps and what they do, but reserve a lion's share of the hour today for a live demonstration where we'll see some of these apps in action. I will be pausing at the end of today's session for a Q&A, so please use the GoToWebinar Q&A manager to post any questions, and we'll get to them at the end of today's session. So before we jump in and just reintroduce UMT360 or introduce UMT360 for those of you who are new to us, let's start with a poll. Pretty simple one to get this going. There's only going to be 2 polls today, so let's try and get a lot of utilization here going. Which PPM tool are you currently using? And if we open up the poll, the options you have is we're on Microsoft Project Server 2013 or earlier. We actually moved to Project Server 2016. We're still on premise, or we're actually using Microsoft Project Online. So we've made that all-important cloud transition. Other PPM tool or none at this time. So pretty simple options there. Give another 10 seconds or so, and then we'll close this out. Okay, let's close down the poll. Okay, so if we look at the results here, overwhelmingly a lion's share is on the Microsoft PPM platform, not surprisingly because this webcast is targeted at extending that, so that's exactly what we expected. Interestingly, quite a few of you still on earlier versions, so it'll be interesting to see if you're looking to make that transition to the cloud, and certainly we can talk more about how we can help you there as well. Great to see that 23% of you are already on Project Online, on the latest and greatest. Other PPM tools and those of you with no PPM tool, hope you get some value from seeing how the Microsoft PPM platform can be extended into a truly world-class end-to-end enterprise projects and portfolio management offering. All right, so let's return back to the slides. So those of you that are net new to us, and just a quick reintroduction to those of you that already know us, UMT360, we're widely recognized as experts in all flavors of enterprise project and portfolio management, projects, programs, and other enterprise portfolios. Not just for the technology that we've provided over the years in all those domains, but also for the consulting services and best practices that we provide. When we think about enterprise portfolio management, really we see it as a discipline where we look to establish the top-down business planning controls you need to transform the way you manage any enterprise investment or portfolio. Today we'll focus more on projects and to some degree programs, but the truth is organizations need to cast the net out further and also integrate other enterprise portfolios that are consuming scarce budget and resources, IT portfolios such as applications, technology, integration with business capabilities or product portfolios. Now, this slide here really gives a quick synopsis of some of the recognition and accolades we've received over the years. Today, we have a solution, UMT360 for PPM and UMT360 for Enterprise Portfolio Management, which is recognized as a leading enterprise portfolio management solution by Gartner, and you see placement in different market scopes here, even listed as a cool vendor for the ability to integrate financial management best practices with traditional PPM processes. And we're also listed in a Magic Quadrant as a visionary for integrated portfolio analysis. We're also proud of the fact that we're a long-standing Microsoft PPM partner, and we have many consultants in our organizations that just specialize in helping organizations to deploy and optimize their usage of the Microsoft PPM platform, be that Project Server or be that Project Online. But we also recognized for consistently over the last practically 2 decades of building integrated solutions or technology and products that extend SharePoint and the Microsoft PPM platform. In fact, without in danger of giving you a history lesson here, we actually built in the early 2000s a product called UMT Portfolio Manager that was recognized as one of the leading portfolio management tool sets. Actually, it was one of the solutions out there that encouraged Gartner to rebrand what was project management and add a second P to make it project and portfolio management. As the PPM landscape consolidated in the mid-2000s, Microsoft actually acquired that product and the original UMT company, and then integrated the portfolio management capabilities into Project Server 2010 and beyond. So if you're using, which many of you are, later versions of Project 2010 and on, and you're using any of the demand management, capacity planning, portfolio management, and optimization capabilities, they're capabilities that we originally built and then worked with Microsoft to integrate into the platform. So I just mention that because we have a long history of building gold standard solutions that extend the Microsoft PPM platform in a variety of areas, and we've continued doing that to this day. Now, when we work with organizations, but certainly when we're helping PMOs using the Microsoft PPM platform, we basically have taken our 20 years worth of real-world experience and designed a framework we kind of lovingly call the VIC framework, and it's been designed to take any function managing project and program portfolios, let's just generically call them PMOs for now, on a journey. One from where they often are today, which is a focus on kind of tactical execution of a project portfolio, into a more strategic-minded discipline, and into potentially a discipline or a function that can truly orchestrate business transformation. There are 3 steps on this journey: visibility, insight, and connect. Visibility is about getting the foundational controls you need to get visibility across your projects. Your enterprise portfolio model is predicated really just on projects, lots of different types of projects, but just projects. As we move into insight, the enterprise portfolio model expands to include projects and programs. And we look to treat these as business investments and quickly garner both the financial and strategic insights needed to support quicker, better, faster decisions. And this is where the PMO starts to become more strategic-minded, more value-orientated in managing their investments. In Connect, it's a simple recognition of the fact that these projects and programs don't exist in a vacuum, that you fund them to make a transformational change to other portfolios in your organization. And you have to connect and integrate those portfolios to understand those dependencies. So maybe you're onboarding a new application, enhancing a business process or capability, launching a product. You have to understand those connections and in turn start to apply portfolio management thinking and techniques to managing those other enterprise portfolios. And doing so, you build a dynamic blueprint of the whole operating fabric of your business and build a framework that allows you to orchestrate both operational activity and spend and discretionary activity and spend. As I drill down to level 2 within the VIC framework, you'll see how the core capabilities of PPM that we all know and love incrementally build across these 3 steps. And I'm not going to bore you with level 3, but we have a strong opinion in terms of if you drill down into portfolio governance or portfolio management or any of these capabilities, what organizations should be doing in each capability on each step in the journey. And our consulting team use this really to pinpoint where you are today from an overall enterprise portfolio management maturity perspective. And based on where you want to be tomorrow, that to be or future state, build roadmaps to get you there based on best practices, which are part our consulting best practices and part fueled by the technology and products that we build that extend the Microsoft PPM platform. As a top-tier true Microsoft PPM partner, a lot of this model, certainly in visibility, is predicated on the Microsoft PPM platform, a tool set that most of you are utilizing today. But if you buy into this methodology, which most people do, it's really a question of when you need the UMT360 solution, enterprise portfolio management solution. And there are certain trigger points on the journey that may suggest that you do, such as enhanced demand management, integrated cost benefit management, road mapping, dependency management, program management. And really the list goes on. So the UMT360 solution seamlessly integrates with the Microsoft PPM platform to provide additional capabilities that you can use when you need them. So, and what we're going to focus on is today is some of the UMT360 apps that you can onboard when you need that capability integrated with a Microsoft Ppm platform, be that Project Online or Project Server. So this is not the webcast, so we're going to go deep into the VIC framework. We've certainly done that in previous webcasts, but just wanted to set that up because it's important to the journey that we're taking a lot of PMOs and a lot of organizations on. So next poll and last poll. When you're faced with functional gaps in your current PPM process or PPM tool set, what do you do? So how do you bridge functional gaps in your current PPM process and tools? So we have here, first one, we just ignore it, hope the problem goes away. Next one, we look at some heavy lifting, manual intervention and workarounds as needed. We invest in custom development, custom solutions, or we look at the market for shrink-wrapped, off-the-shelf offerings that help solve that specific problem. So let's another 5 to 10 seconds and we'll shut the poll. Okay, let's close the poll. All right, so I'm glad to see that only 1% of us ignores the problem, and so we're going to deal with it, go towards the problem. 57%, require a little bit of heavy lifting or manual intervention, which is very common in most PPM processes. One of the big problems we see out there is too much manual intervention and data reconciliation based on disparate information and tools. Invest in customizing solutions. So leave your day job behind and start to become a solution builder. That's very common too, with 26%. And surprisingly, at least for companies like us, only 15% of you actually looking out in the market to find solutions that are fit for purpose or best of breed and integrating with your current solution. So we'll come back to this towards the end. So let's move on. So what we've done here is we've basically distilled down some of the capabilities that are resident in the UMT360 Enterprise Portfolio Management Solution into best-of-breed apps that are plug and play into the Microsoft Ppm platform. Now, we're going to do a live demo on some or all of these, depending on how much time I have. But here are the apps we're going to focus on today. So we're going to look at the UMT360 Cost Manager. I have a slide on each of these before we jump into the demo, so I'm not going to say too much more about that now. A UMT360 Benefits Manager, UMT360 Resource Planner, UMT360 Roadmap Manager, Demand Manager, and also the all-important data exchange from UMT360 that helps integrate Microsoft Ppm with other line of business systems. Now, don't worry, if you're not seeing certain capabilities here like program management, integrated IT portfolio management, different forms of strategic planning, it's not that we don't provide them. These are all resident in our overall enterprise portfolio management solution. You can certainly learn more about that solution in other webcasts and on the website. But today's focus is really these best-of-breed apps that are designed to be plug and play into the Microsoft Ppm platform. So let's take a quick look at each of these. And we're going to do this more so in a live demo, so I'm not going to spend too much time here. The UMT360 Cost Manager, what we're looking to do here is really ensure that cost information becomes a first-class citizen within the Microsoft Ppm platform, alongside resource and schedule information. Salient capabilities you'll see is being able to put integrated cost controls, the flexibility for both top-down, bottom-up budgeting, being able to move away from Excel and introduce time phase cost estimating, forecasting, the ability to automate funding allocations and chargebacks. For those of you that have projects in multiple countries, automating and bringing to bear multi-currency is key. Looking at financial reconciliation, so the monthly process of integrating actuals, forecasting, and variance analysis is key. Managing change requests, snapshotting data, and the all-important integration with ERP systems like SAP and PeopleSoft and others. So we can take a look at cost management today. Also a benefits manager. We're always going to argue where there's a cost, there should be a benefit. So how do we start to really integrate benefits data into the Microsoft PPM system? So go beyond just simple benefit estimating and actually manage the whole benefits realization framework in the system. So recording top-down benefits, time phase benefits estimating, forecasting benefits through the life of the project, establishing that framework for benefits realization and tracking, being able to snapshot benefit data, and also look at changes around benefit data. UMT360 Resource Planner. One of the big problems we see out there for a lot of customers is being too bottom-up in how they manage resources. So how do we improve our overall capacity planning by providing a simple interface for both resource estimating and resource forecasting integrated with the Microsoft PPM platform? So what I'm going to show you today is UMT360 Resource Plans on steroids, which gives you the ability to do exactly that, be top-down, integrated with the schedule, provide the ability to build multiple dimensions, look at tracking and estimating, capitalized and non-capitalized work, and really the list goes on. A lot of people are talking about roadmaps at the moment. Not many people know what they are. I want a roadmap, but UMT360 has a roadmap manager that really helps you to simplify how you manage cross-project, program, and portfolio dependencies and relationships, and also generate different types of roadmaps, entity-level, portfolio-level roadmaps within the integrated data set. And this is key, being able to generate roadmaps from your data set versus having to have third-party tools that ultimately are disconnected from your core data set. We'll take a look at Roadmap Manager 2. UMT360 Demand Manager. You know, all too often, business case information, project charters, you know, are captured outside of the Microsoft PPM system with just high-level information reconciled with cost-benefit analysis, other information held in documents like Excel and Word and posted into the document library. How do we look at bringing all information relative to competing requests that we need to make decisions into the Microsoft PPM platform so it's both governable and instantly reportable? So things we can look at here would be workflow visualization to show where we are in the process, the ability to put intelligent custom fields, so dynamic behavior in the forms of Microsoft PPM, recording high-level resource estimates in resource plans, capturing time phase cost benefits, introducing powerful scoring assessments, strategic fit, risk, probability of success, automating that process, looking at roadmaps, dependencies, snapshotting the information around the business case as you progress through different gates, and being able to therefore generate artifacts from this consolidated data set versus double data entry of taking information from Word, Excel, and bringing it back into the Microsoft PPM system. Last, but by no means least, and we probably won't get time to look at this today, but UMT360 Data Exchange, which is really a three-step intuitive wizard that helps you to integrate data from different third-party systems, commonly used for ERP integrations, SAP, PeopleSoft, or simply just creating projects in bulk from other systems, or updating information, custom field information, other information across all projects in bulk in Microsoft PPM. So that was a very quick look. Let's take a look at these applications in action. So demo time. So what I'm going to show you here is the UMT360 apps. Now, the cool thing about these apps is that they can be deployed independently, Cost Manager versus Resource Planner. But ultimately, when deployed together or in an incremental fashion, they seamlessly integrate. So I'm actually going to show you the solution today with all these apps deployed, and you'll see how seamlessly they interact with one another. But I'll try to demonstrate them, individually. So let's see how I do in that regard. So hopefully you recognize this as the project center view in Microsoft PPM. So let's start by taking a look at UMT360 Cost Manager. Remember, the ability to integrate financial information across the entire PPM lifecycle. I've opened up a project here which is in the early stages of its business case creation. And now this is actually leveraging the full demand manager capabilities from UMT360, where we see key forms that can be configured to comprise a world-class business case. Now, I'm really going to focus just really on cost estimates at this portion of the demo. So how do we move out of Excel? How do we start to integrate time-phase cost and benefit cost estimates within Microsoft PPM? So here we're seeing a view here for capturing time-phased cost estimates. Now, what's cool about this is everything I'm going to show you is configurable. I can define any financial structure I want, and I can fully integrate with the governance workflow that's established in Microsoft PPM. So what's interesting here, if I open up this cost estimate view here, it's defaulting to CapEx, OpEx at a quarterly granularity. So if I expand here, I can see that I'm actually encouraging or ensuring that users actually break down information at a quarterly stage at this juncture in the project's life. We could have set it up to be yearly, but we didn't. Just for this demonstration, we said that it should be it's broken down in a quarterly granularity and at level 2 within the cost structure, which is CapEx, OpEx. It's a hierarchical cost structure. You can define any cost structure you want, and I can expand down to lower level details and capture that information as I see fit. Now, information can be entered at any granularity and automatically spread at the lower granularity. So I'm at quarterly, but if I wanted to see it in monthly, I would drill down and it's spread on an even spread in this instance. So what I like about the UMT360 capabilities, and this goes beyond just the cost, is these grids here allow me to be completely top-down, meaning I can capture cost estimates purely in UMT360 here, just like I would do in Excel. So I could come in here, add values here, drag and drop within the grid, cut and paste, whatever I want to do, here. Now, so I can operate completely top-down, independent of the schedule, or I could be fully integrated with the Microsoft PPM schedule, and that can change stage by stage as you progress through the workflow. I can also operate in a hybrid mode, where certain nodes in this cost structure, as you see here, like internal labor consultants offshore, can actually be pulled from the resource assignments in Proj, and other nodes like software, hardware can remain freehand. So there's lots of flexibility as you progress through the life of the project. Now, so capturing high-level cost estimates is relatively easy. Now, what happens if I have multiple currencies? So 360 has full multi-currency capabilities. You specify an enterprise currency, define other currencies, manage time-phased exchange rates relative to the enterprise currency. So we're looking at dollars here, but we could easily switch to the other currencies, such as Great British Pounds. I need to save those changes to do that. So let me just back out of that. I'm not going to save those changes. Let me just go back to costs. Okay, so back to costs. I could look at switching the currency from USD to Great British Pounds. We could manage projects in different projects in different currencies. Could even go as deep as managing the same project in multiple currencies. All information is aggregated automatically in the enterprise currency. So full integrated exchange rates. Now, capturing cost estimates is relatively easy, be it top-down or integrated with the project schedule. But we go further. What about funding allocations? I have multiple business units funding the same initiatives. So a couple of ways you can deal with this. It can be a simple thing. So we have what's called allocation sensors or cost centers. So on a stage-by-stage basis in the workflow, I can confirm whether I want the cost to be broken out on a percentage allocation. So I see here IT's funding a portion of this, potentially finance and ops, 30%, 30%. So I can do a percentage allocation across the board, but I could also have an absolute allocation, simply where I can select the cost centers or allocation centers that are appropriate for this project, and I can actually come in and select that cost center and update the grid manually for the cost for that cost center. Again, if you're integrating the schedule, it will automatically pull to the correct cost center. So the ability to look at estimating, allocations, and once we've got those allocation structures, it's going to support chargebacks as we move through the life of the project. So at any stage in this process, we can snapshot any information I'm showing you here. We're just focusing on cost, but snapshots can be triggered automatically through the workflow, or snapshots can be taken across the portfolio. So at key decision points, snapshotting the cost or the benefit or the resource information at different gates in the process can be done off snapshot templates, or I can snapshot across the portfolio at given intervals, monthly, quarterly, whatever it may be. Okay, so we've looked at very high level at cost estimating. Let's move on and look at a project that is in execution. So if you bear with me, I'll just, passage of time, filter the projects not by create and select in terms of early stage. We'll look at plan and manage. And we'll pick up health assessment reporting tool that is sitting in execution. I know it's sitting in execution. I can see through actually the UMT360 workflow visualization here that it's sitting in that execution stage. So we provide full governance around all capabilities that we manage here. So from a cost perspective, as we moved out of plan gate and moved into execution, we actually approved our budget. We've now locked our costs, and we can't change. We can't change without express permissions through a change control or a change request. So our budget is locked. We have the concept of dimensions: budget, actuals, forecast. I can have multiple dimensions of the same type, multiple budgets, multiple forecasts for 3-point forecasting, various things like that. But in this case, as soon as I approved my project, I copy my budget to my forecast, so I can start to reforecast costs through the life of the project. Now, 360 fully supports the reconciliation of financials. So let's say you're following a monthly closeout process. You can raise, as a PMO, a financial status report. So we're looking at this project. We can see we're currently in July 2017, and we can see all the archived reports. If I look at the actuals here, I have the ability to capture the actuals for the current period, which is July 2017. So I'm in August reporting on July, however you want to set this up. 3 ways to get actuals in here. First is manually. I know a lot of you said you do manual intervention, but we don't recommend it, right? That rarely ever happens. The second is it can be updated natively from the timesheet information captured in project, but the most common way is leveraging our data exchange to pull in the information, the committed costs from the ERP system of choice, SAP, PeopleSoft, whatever it may be. So in that monthly process, or whatever it may be, you're going to run that data sync from the ERP system. The actuals will be populated across all in-flight projects, and the project manager will see that and can add his or her accruals. Now, we can also now reforecast the costs. Remember, our budget is locked. I can't reforecast past periods, archive periods, but I can certainly reforecast open periods, as you see here. This can be integrated from the schedule, or can be, updated, top down, as you see here. So one place to come in here, alongside your regular status reporting around, work and health and other things, to look at the financial reconciliation. So once I've added my actuals, added my forecasts, I can simply submit this into the system, and the workflow will take over. I'll be locked out or be routed for approval, and the next reporting period will archive that data for trending analysis, as you see here. Now, the question I normally get is, if it's archived, can it be reopened? Yes, you can. For certain users with certain permissions, like financial analysts, I could actually come back to an archive period, reopen it if data needs to be updated. So very easy to manage budgets, lock budgets, track actuals, forecast to drive variance analysis and reporting. This project is actually trending. You see here the variance is 668,000, I believe, over its budget based on, actually that's from February, that's not right, based on the metrics. So it's over budget. So what else we do is provide complete change control. Now, I'm not going to have a huge amount of time to demonstrate this, but now if we want to request changes to my budget, because we're over budget in this case, I can do so through a change request. So I can come in, go to my budget if I want to make changes to that, and create a new change request off a template. Now, I don't have time to do that, so I'm actually going to cheat and do that dynamically. What I'm going to do is click on copy financial dimensions. Remember, budget, actual, forecast. Pick a canned action that says copy my forecast to my budget. So overwrite my budget with my forecast. So as a PM, I'm going to say, look, my forecast is higher. Now, we could have negative change requests too, but in this case, my forecast is higher. I'm going to overwrite my budget, but the tool says no chance because that budget is locked, so we're going to raise the change request on your behalf. So we're leveraging a template here. If we look here in the change request log, a new change request has been posted. I can see the request is there. It's been routed for approval, so I can see who the approvers are. I can drill down, learn more about that change control or that change request, and see the updated values. Okay, so I can see that the new running project costs are actually focusing on the difference here. So we should see some differences occurring from July on in terms of new incremental funds. And if approved, that change request will update the budget accordingly. If rejected, it won't. So fully governed change management system within the project itself. So that's important. Now we'll look at reporting and stuff at the end. All the information I'm showing you is available in reporting in any of the Microsoft Business Intelligence tool sets, from Excel services all the way up to the new advent, obviously, of Power BI. So benefits management. Let's take a quick look at that. And when I say a quick look, it will be a quick look because I want to focus more on some of the other apps here. So the same way, if I go back to that project that was in the business case, Innovation Management Framework, I can go beyond just capturing cost estimates to establish a benefit structure. So here I can, again, fully integrated with the governance. I'm being asked to capture benefits by year, but it could be more granular, and that can change through the life of the project at level 2, but you can define the benefit structure as you need it. So we can integrate cost and benefit time-phased information within the business case and use that to derive key financial metrics. Now, many of you are doing this. Many of you, whether it's in Excel or not, are including benefit estimates, but very few of you are then reforecasting benefits through the life of the project, which is key in establishing a true benefits realization framework even before you start to track, because variables can change, costs change over the life of the project. Why wouldn't benefits forecasts change in the same way? And they do. So now I'm going to go through very quickly here and just pick up a project that is actually in a later stage. We're actually going to just set this up so we're tracking benefits beyond the life of the project. So I'm actually going to pick up a project that's sitting in the measure stage here, CRM deployment EMEA, and drill down. We'll see that it's in the last stage of the workflow here, so completion stage. And the same things you saw before. I've locked my approved benefits, I can reforecast my benefits, and I can track benefits. Okay, so same mechanism that I showed you before, but this time tracking benefit data. What's interesting is you can track costs, let's say, on a monthly cadence through the life, but I can choose a different granularity. In this case, we've chosen to do benefit statusing on a quarterly cadence, or it could be semester, or it could be yearly. Of course, it could be monthly too. So a very similar mechanism for estimating ongoing forecasting, which is key. Reforecast benefits at each gate, and then a mechanism for tracking and keeping audit and history and archived information around benefit data too. Okay, so on to UMT360 Resource Planner. So I am going to go back to that first project again in the Innovation Management Framework, which is in the business case. Now, obviously, for those of you using Project Online, for those of you using Project Server 2016, Microsoft has made significant improvements in how they deal with the requisition and allocation of resources through that new feature engagements, which is great. But in releasing that feature, they really deprecated what was the web-based resource plan that was available in earlier versions, 2013 and before. And put that into Project Pro itself. Now, for a lot of our Microsoft PPM customers that are also using the UMT360 Enterprise Portfolio Management Solution, one of the top asks we had is, look, that resource plan that was part of 2013 was good. It didn't go far enough, but the concept was good. We need that back. So what we've done in our resource planner is bring back that resource plan, and we put it on steroids to use a technical term. So resource planning on steroids. And the main objective of this current release of Resource Planner is to simplify resource estimating and forecasting, the ability to choose when to plan demand top-down, bottom-up, and integrate the worlds. So again, we're looking at a project in the early stage business case, and we see the UMT360 resource plan here, integrated with the sort of PDP forms infrastructure. Now, because this project is in the early stages, we're only looking at generic resources here. So I'm just going to simplify this view quickly. I'm going to remove a couple of the dimensions. Remove actuals and committed, and so it looks a little bit simpler. So we're seeing the key generics here. Now, what this allows you to do is multiple things. First of all, building a team becomes a lot simpler, because if I want to add a new resource here, this is fully integrated with the Microsoft PPM resource pool. I see all my resources here, and I can search across any of the metadata that I'm using in my resource custom field. So if I'm looking for a PMO representative here, I type in PMO and see members of the PMO team. So it's searching any of the fields, skills, location, whatever it may be, to return possible people. Now, if I wanted to add a PMO in here, I can choose to add once or twice. Why do we want to do that? Well, I'm not going to actually do that, but the reason why we do that is one of the deficiencies in the previous resource plan was being able to have multiple line items for the same generic resource or even individual resource or named resource. So why do I want to do that? In early stage planning, maybe I care about analysts based on packages of work. If you look at here, I could sort by my phases here and say, okay, I need an analyst in requirements analysis, in design and implementation. I can have planned work, as you see captured here in FTE, for each of those phases. Another reason is being able to more effectively estimate and forecast capitalized versus non-capitalized work, which is important. So I notice here that we have flags for line items that are capitalized and are not. And this can be top-down and, again, fully integrated with the schedule based on how you're flagging capitalized tasks or not. Now, I can add any additional resource fields that you see here, no limitation. I can add resource fields to the left-hand side here, and I can choose to estimate in any granularity, quarterly, monthly. One thing I didn't explain earlier was custom granularities. Custom granularities are cool, and this applies to cost and benefit as well, where I can do rolling wave, where I can say the current year is we want to estimate in monthly, and the out years, next 2 out years quarterly, and then beyond in years. So here we're seeing a couple of out years in quarter, and then we move into yearly in 2020. So establishing that rolling wave custom granularity to capture information in different granularities through the life of the project is key. So I can come in here and capture information in any granularity and also in full-time equivalents, hours and days. Now, the same way that we had dimensions, budget, actuals, forecast for cost, we also have dimensions for resources, planned, committed, actual. So in the early stage of the project here, I'm just looking at the plan, and I'm able to capture that information top down. But I can add actual and committed dimensions as needed. Actuals can be integrated with the timesheet information, or we can pull information from projects, or we can pull actuals from any other timesheeting system into the project level to compare against the planned. And committed is just the committed time for that particular resource to that project, which can be done at key governance events by committing that within an approval of a project. So you can also define additional dimensions. So I could define additional planned dimensions, additional actual dimensions, additional committed dimensions. So this gives you the ability to do top-down planning, but also you can integrate with the schedule. So at a certain point, I can start to pull the information from the schedule, and that can become my forecast going forward. Or, and as if I just move on to that project that was deeper in its life, so if we move back to health assessment reporting tool that was in execution, we will see, if I go to the resource plan there, that I've actually added additional dimension here. I have committed, so I can see who's, the amount each line item is being committed. The planned. Now, when you approve a project, plan goes from the estimate and becomes the forecast. But I also see project plan. So in this case, we've set this up so that I can automatically sync the resource assignments from the project into this project plan line item. And now I have the flexibility to treat that as gospel going forward, or treat our plan. So I can look at what's in the plan, and I can then simply provide a top-down forecast going forward within the planned line item here, which is being managed in UMT360. So whether it's top-down, whether it's bottom-up, or a hybrid approach, you have the flexibility. And like I say, one of the biggest challenges we see with our customers out there when it comes to wiring everything from the bottom up, resource assignments to the task, is that when you don't have truly experienced project managers, being able to easily provide solid resource forecasts going forward is a challenge. So providing the ability to do this top-down, bottom-up, or integrated simplifies that and leads to better integrity in your overall demand data, whether it's planned or reforecast work. Okay, so back to my first project, and apologies for jumping around here, but I wanted to sort of isolate app by app versus doing the overall bigger demo. So back to innovation management. So we looked at cost manager, benefits manager, resource planner. Let's take a look at the roadmap capabilities. Very powerful. So a couple of things to call out here. There's an associations tab here. Now this looks pretty bland, but this is one of the reasons why Gartner has UMT360 positioned as a leader in enterprise portfolio management. What the associations tab allows you to do is a couple of things. So the first thing is I have the choice of establishing top-down milestones, just like I explained to you before. Top-down cost, top-down benefits, top-down resource estimates. So milestones can be top-down, as you see here, or they could be fully integrated with the schedule. So I actually have milestones listed here. If I wanted to suck the key milestones out of the schedule, I'd stick project plan integration on and automatically suck out the key milestones based on a key flag. So I can have milestones pulled from the schedule, or I can provide a simple interface for top-down milestone planning. That's not the reason we built this milestone feature. One of the reasons we built this really was to simplify cross-project, program, and portfolio dependency management. So in the same view here, we have associations and dependencies. What this allows me to do is understand the 6 degrees of separation between this investment, the innovation management project request, and other portfolios I have in my enterprise portfolio model. So what you'll see here is that this project request impacts the top-down portfolio, which is actually being managed here in this portfolio. It's actually transacting change to an application, which is being managed in an application catalog integrated with Microsoft Ppm. It's part of a bigger program, global innovation program, and it also is impacting these other projects. So I can actually, I won't create a new one, but I'll actually edit an existing dependency. So if I open up this, we're simply saying that the innovation management framework is related to the construction safety equipment. That I can capture a description, but I can also drive that dependency down to the milestone level. So if I look here, I'm seeing all the list of the key milestones for innovation management framework, one of which I believe is concept evaluation complete. Yeah. And all the milestones from the other projects. Now I can establish a give-get relationship, requires or required by. So I already set this up. So concept evaluation complete for innovation management is required by the other milestone from construction safety. Now what's cool about this, and this simplifies cross-project program portfolio dependency, reduces reliance on things like master schedules and master plans. What's cool about this is I can take dependencies project to project, project to program, project to portfolio, project to anything, project to application even. So if you look here at the program level, I have a milestone dependency at the program level. I have a milestone dependency at the application level. Now, we take these milestones, we take these associations, and we use that to generate roadmaps. And the first roadmap I'm going to show you is an entity-based roadmap. Entity-based meaning it's generated in context to the entity we're in, which is Innovation Management Framework, which you see on the bottom here. Now I see the key milestones for innovation management, and I can also see the 6 degrees of separation between this project and other entities from other portfolios that impact as part of this portfolio. You can see the milestone dependency at the program level. I can see actually this milestone is transacting change to, is a deliverable transacting change to this application, iSource. I can see the relationship with construction safety and the other projects that it's impacting. Now, I can learn more about any of these things by clicking here or drill it or going to see the project itself. I can get more information on the milestone, or I can simply see the milestone status under here. Now, I'm not going to spend too much time on program management, but 360 enables full program management. I'm just going to focus on this in the context of dependency management and road mapping. So I'm going to move to the program level. So we actually have programs being managed as distinct entities here. So we have a program portfolio. I'm seeing my global innovation program. If I take a look at my associations and relationships between this program, I can see that this program is actually transacting change to a business capability or process, which we're modeling here. It's related to another program, and these are all the projects in Microsoft PPM that are supporting it. So we're maintaining these relationships and doing far more than just reporting veneer in terms of program management. Now, staying in the context of road mapping, if we look at the roadmap here, if we look at the roadmap for the program, again, it's an entity-based roadmap. For Global Innovation Program, we see it here. I can see the relationships the program has with other programs, the business capability, and importantly, I can see all the projects that support it, the dependencies with the program, and the interdependencies between the projects. So very, very, very powerful. Now, these are entity-based roadmaps generated in the context of the entity, project, programs, application capabilities, whatever comprises your enterprise portfolio model. However, we can also generate, much like you do with project center views, portfolio level roadmaps. Now, I haven't got a huge amount of time to spend here, but it's as simple as generating a view in Microsoft Project Center. So here I've generated a portfolio-based roadmap across my projects. And I've simply said, group my projects by portfolio, or I could switch that to any other field, program, color by owner. I want to see a quarterly granularity, so I'm switching to program. I see those dependencies coming through again. I can drill down and learn more. And it's very easy to publish and maintain these. So generating these roadmaps are easy. Now, there's three types of views here. Timeline, which is this traditional view. Slicer is extremely interesting too, because Slicer gives you the ability to basically generate anything. So basically with Slicer, I can come in and say, these are my projects. I want to see my projects broken down by cost. So put on the header as cost, an increment of $500,000. Group by program, color by owner, or it could be any custom field in the system. So here I'm seeing my projects based on $500,000 increments, grouped by program and colored by owner. But I could do anything. So maybe I have health. I want to see my projects by status indicator, whatever it may be. I'll take you a little bit out of left field here to a degree, and I'll generate an application roadmap. 360 does application portfolio management as well, and show you what you can do with Slicer. Here we're looking at applications broken down by number of users, grouped by vendor, colored by Gartner pace layer scale. Or I could use Slicer to generate kind of a decommission roadmap. So key milestones based on when we're retiring applications by business capabilities. So there's three views. I only have time to look at two views today, which are Slicer and timeline. But again, the key here is the ability to automatically generate and automate these roadmaps on top of the core data set of the Microsoft Ppm platform and the UMT360 apps. Now, I'm not going to have too much time to go much deeper today. I guess I will just focus a little bit on the demand manager and say that the demand manager really helps you to build world-class business cases. We've looked at elements of this, whether it's a resource plan, cost estimates, benefit estimates, associations. In addition to those capabilities from just an estimating point of view, what the demand manager brings to the table is the ability to define any number of scoring assessments. So things like risk assessments. There's an assessment engine that allows you to build weighted surveys, questions, weighted responses. So in this case, we simply divide a risk assessment based on the scores, or based on the completion here, deriving and trending a risk score through the snapshotting engine. So there's no limitation here. Strategic impact, risk assessment, probability assess, enterprise architectural fit, complexity. Anything you want to use these surveys for, you can use them to score. We even use them for lessons learned, customer success metrics at the end of the project. So that's one additional capability that Demand Manager brings to the table, in terms of scoring assessments that can be used at any point in the project's life. Now, a feature that's just available for Project Server today, but will be coming to Project Online, is what we call intelligent fields. So if I actually edit this project, it may be helpful. We can actually take the out-of-the-box project details form here that's from Microsoft Ppm and make it more dynamic, right? So often you want to just show the right information to the right people at the right time. So if I come here, I have department field, investment type field. If I go from ops to finance, I'm prompting for a funding source. I'm a new investment here. What happens if this project becomes an unplanned carryover? I want to add force a justification to be added. So adding conditional logic and validation rules to make sure the right information is displayed to the right people at the right time is key, and something we call intelligent fields or intelligent forms. Now, I'm not going to have time to look at the reporting today, but needless to say, anything that I've shown you from UMT360 point of view can be reported on in the same manner you're reporting in Microsoft Ppm, using Microsoft BI tools from Excel services all the way up to Power BI. So, I got through 5 of the apps at a high level. Quite honestly, we could do an hour session on each of the apps. Hopefully pique your interest, and keep in mind, these can be deployed independent of one another, but the true strength is as you're ready, they can be deployed incrementally, and they add and completely integrated. One source providing a unified, integrated experience of Microsoft Ppm. I'm hoping that was one of the things you saw today. You've got to be pretty knowledgeable in terms of Microsoft Ppm to understand where project stops and 360 starts. It's complete integration. My marketing manager would say it's not discernible. I would say integrated to the point of confusion, and that is by design. Data integration and complete UI integration. So let's go back to the slides. So we'll wrap up in the next 5 minutes and then pause for some questions here. So what are the benefits of the UMT360 apps for Microsoft Ppm, both Project Online and Project Server? There's that discernible difference thing, right? Integration to the point of confusion. We wanted this to be one complete enterprise project program and portfolio management solution for Microsoft Ppm community. The Microsoft Ppm platform is a truly strong Ppm offering. As you mature and need incremental capabilities, they're there for you at your fingertips, and for the end users, it will be one in the same. It's integrated the same way, it's administered the same way, the UI is completely integrated. That helps to improve adoption. No. Also because it's very easy to administer the UMT360 apps in the same way that you administer other native capabilities of Microsoft Ppm. It actually speeds the deployment timelines and time to value, eliminates the need, and I know 21% of you saying you were investing in these customizations, but eliminates the need for expensive, often risky customizations, right? Move to shrink wrap offerings that are supported by one vendor, that are proven with multiple Microsoft Ppm customers, and benefit from that combined knowledge. Now, what I've shown you is just the sort of tip of the iceberg here. We have additional capabilities. We, based on customer feedback on these apps and other capabilities, are continually investing to improve. Our product roadmap is truly exciting and strong in every single one of those areas, from cost management, benefits management, road mapping, and resource management and beyond. So these apps keep getting better. In fact, there's more apps coming in the next quarter to the portfolio too. So, like I say, fully supported. We built these apps based on 20 years worth of experience of implementing the Microsoft Ppm platform across major organizations, and know that they'll be required as you step through that maturity journey, as I described it relative to the Frick framework. So, many ways to engage with us. So what are potentially just 3 I'll throw out there. So first of all, take a look at UMT360.com and many of these will surface to you. But look, if I piqued your interest today and that's all I was endeavoring to do, request a demo. We can go deeper into any one of the apps or the whole enterprise portfolio management suite at large. Remember, if you didn't see what you're looking for today, there's a good chance that we do it, and it's rolled into our overall enterprise portfolio management offering for managing projects, programs, and other enterprise portfolios integrated with the mothership of Microsoft Ppm. Another way to engage is, look, I'm looking to mature my PMO into becoming a function that can truly have a seat at the table in this business transformation initiative. Let's take a look at the VIC assessment. Let's work together. We'll do an as-is assessment of your current processes based on customer experiences that we've had. We'll give you a future state roadmap and show you how to get there in a systematic way, which also involves integrating with other functions and other portfolios, such as enterprise architecture, other IT portfolios, business capability portfolios, whatever it may be. Now, a bunch of you hadn't made that transition to Project Online, and I'm sure you're thinking about it. I'm sure your organization is signed off the T&Cs for Office 365, and Project Online is just another button ready to be used. So, engage with us on a cloud migration assessment. We'll show you how that can be done, even help you build a business case to get that funded. So just three, not the only ways, but three core ways to engage with us. But take a look at 360.com to learn more. So hopefully you got some value from this webcast. This was more of a product-orientated webcast. We kind of have these kind of how-tos or product nature webcasts, but also have best practice process-orientated webcasts. Our next webcast, which is September 14th, at the same time as this one, is focusing on strategic planning for not all of you, but I think a majority of you on a calendar fiscal year. Surely it can't be that time of year again. Didn't we just complete annual planning? Wasn't it overly burdensome and painful last time? So what should we be doing to evolve our top-down strategic planning processes, to move from traditional annual planning to a continuous planning model, ultimately to establish the framework needed to more effectively align all execution with strategy? So that's what we'll be looking at on September 14th at 10 a.m. So with that, I know we're coming to the top of the hour. I would like to thank you for your time today. I hope you found it valuable. We'll pause now for any questions that were posted to the Q&A manager. But if you have to run, thanks again. So a couple of questions here. Does the integration platform for financial work with JD Edwards in a non-cloud environment hosted on a AS400? Yeah, I mean, the data exchange module is, normally our phase one way of integrating with multiple line of business systems. It was originally 5+ years ago, was built for SAP integration, was genericized to integrate with any ERP system. I mentioned SAP PeopleSoft as the ones that come up the most. Obviously, JD Edwards, various elements of Microsoft Dynamics also comes up. But so yeah, you can establish mapping templates with any ERP system to pull actual costs out into the combined offering of 360 and Microsoft Ppm. Shouldn't be a problem. Now, obviously, we want to look at cadence for those jobs. I would say the majority of our customers are running that on a monthly cadence, but we do have examples of very heavyweight nightly batch imports of actuals across hundreds of thousands of projects every day. So question, how do you help clients see system use in terms of what they need, want, and could have? From Tony. I mentioned we provide consulting services, we provide technology and products, but ultimately we provide solutions. The solutions are a roll-up of our best practices and the technology we represent, UMT360 Enterprise Portfolio Management Solution, all these point apps, and the underlying Microsoft Ppm platform. So I would recommend, Tony, a VIC assessment. Why? Because this is focused on the capabilities and the solutions themselves. And we will, by doing that analysis of your as-is state and where you want to go, because it's not a one-size-fits-all approach, we'll be able to recommend what pieces you're going to be missing on your journey and the options you have. You can trade off customization versus manual intervention versus having a shrink wrap companion to Microsoft PPM that is going to provide all the capabilities you need on your journey and is continue to be evolved based on what other organizations need as they evolve their PPM platform into an enterprise portfolio management offering. Does Microsoft, question from Betty, does Microsoft Unity work together to supply support? We are top-tier Microsoft PPM partners, so we work very closely. When you think about Microsoft Premier support and the services offer, it really is just focused on the Microsoft PPM platform. Of course, UMT360 also supports not just our product, because again, we're enabling solutions, supports the whole configuration, which is often Microsoft PPM plus UMT360. So we have different support packages, from Tier 1 to Tier 2 only, from UMT360 only to Microsoft PPM plus UMT360. But ultimately, we're going to ensure you're successful. And when we need to bring Microsoft in, let's say we use them as a Tier 3 escalation, we do, and work with you in terms of your Premier support model. How do you address integrate tasks with Microsoft TFS and task management, time estimates, and completion status? Yeah, it's probably, we're not going to have too much time to go into that. So that's from Bob. Bob, we can take this up offline. So we do have connectors, and actually Microsoft has connectors for Microsoft Project down to TFS. We also have connectors for other agile systems. So there's different ways that we see organizations establishing, integrated agile structures with, enterprise portfolio management system, with the freedom to work in any other system, agile just being one of them. So I can talk to you offline, and we'll set up a meeting or even respond via email in terms of the different scenarios that we see with TFS, with Jira, with other agile systems. I think we got through a line share. If not, we'll get back to you. Does roadmap allow services and products view stacked against portfolio rather than applications? Yeah, there's no limitation. UMT360 Enterprise Portfolio Management Solution, this is going beyond project and program management, is true top-down offering. It allows you to define and orchestrate an enterprise portfolio model of your choosing. So whether it was like you saw today, which was kind of IT-centric, or whether it's service-based, product-based, whatever you want, whether it's integration of business assets from like energy organizations, wells, pads, sites, whatever, it doesn't matter. So there's no limitation to how you orchestrate that model, and that's the true beauty of being a top-down enterprise portfolio management system. All right, so we've definitely run over. I want to thank you again for your time today. Please look out for the next webcast in the series, and have a good rest of the day. Thank you.